back on Adapt and Respond with me, RJ Young. If you are new to the channel, please join us as there are 208,000 subscribers to Adapt and Respond, a college football podcast. You can also catch us on Apple, Spotify, if you so choose. And if you are listening there, please leave us a 5-star review. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you'd like to see more of, and we'll try to do more of that. Also, this is a longer show. Y'all said y'all like the longer shows. I need y'all to prove it by watching the whole damn thing and making sure more people watch the show. Okay. So I want to do some burning questions ahead of Big 12 Media Days, because Big 12 Media Days begins on Tuesday, and it will begin with not anybody knowing, or excuse me, I should say, it will begin with everybody knowing what the top storyline is in the Big 12. And it is 2 words: Brendan Sorsby. Okay? Brendan Sorsby. Brendan Sorsby, for which this channel has grown tremendously, because my man chose to not just make more than 10,000 bets, totaling about 90 grand over 4 years, but making them bets while starting at quarterback at Cincinnati, while Cincinnati knew that he had a gambling account, and while he was a backup quarterback at Indiana, placing bets on his own football team. Then Texas Tech, who won him out of the portal and was reportedly paying him $5 million, went to bat for him and was going to try to ram him through college football to play this season. Until, well, Brendan Sorsby had to back out of all of it, mostly because Ken Paxton made a mistake that pissed away any leverage that they might have had to get that dude to play and forced the Big 12 to make Texas Tech into the bad guy. So going into this weekend, one of my questions is, how are the coaches going to respond to the controversy? Are they going to say, is it going to be kumbaya? We're all one family now. That's behind us. We don't want to talk about airing our dirty laundry anymore now that our dirty laundry is already dry. No, I don't know about that. Like, even Deion Sanders came out in June and was like, hey, he bet on his team. Does anybody think he should be playing college football? Like, honestly, are we doing this? Very good question. I didn't. You didn't. Some other people were making the, I think, rather ridiculous take that nobody believes that Brendan Sorsby was shaving points, to which I say, that is not the point. If he was shaving points, ooh boy, that's another degree. But if you're talking about a game like other games that depends now more on gambling than it has in years past, you don't want any of the players to have any money on the game. Matter of fact, I play a lot of chess. Let me find out my queen on the chessboard is betting one way or the other. I need a new queen. I can't trust this one no more. It's a little far-fetched and it's a little silly, but that's where we were forced to go with this story. Because the more I kept looking at the story, the more I kept going, there's no way that they're continuing to try to go down this road. Is there? And Texas Tech kept traveling down that road, trying to do its PR campaign. Brendan Sorsby doing the same thing when the rest of us are going, hey, man, we're not into this. And more importantly, the rest of college football believe that Brendan Sorsby should not be playing football. I will be curious to find out if there's even one college football coach in the Big 12 who believes that Brendan Sorsby should have been playing in 2026. Now, next question I had is really along the lines of the new eligibility rules that come on board for the FBS, right? Because we got unanimously passed by the football oversight community the 5-for-5 rule, which means that we have basically torched red shirts. There is no more red shirting, okay? You get 5 years to play 5 years, either when you enroll or, when you turn 19. Because the idea of guys continuing to get extra years to play eligibility, get these injunctions, is gone too far. And now you're getting guys that are playing college football 25, 26, 27. And I do mean 27. It used to be BYU was the only real program that got away with this, because what happened was they would get the dude to sign and then send him on a mission, and he'd come back from that gap year and then enroll, right? And then all of a sudden you got these men with families and children playing college football. BYU did this for years. Nobody had a problem with it because there are religious bounds for doing this, right? We understand. We get it. Don't all of us like it, but when you look at the average age of their teams versus the average age of everybody else's team, it was glaring just kind of what advantage they had built for themselves. Now, I don't think that many coaches are going to be against this one, because one of the reasons the 5-5 came online was because you had players who would show up, see they're not going to play, or didn't want to be on the team anymore and just say, hey, coach, I want to take my red shirt, which removes a guy from your roster that could be playing for you if need be. And if you are a coach, you got two decisions here. You can't pull the scholarship to the next year. And if they don't want to play, they don't want to play. It used to be guys did never want to take the red shirt. You always wanted to play because red shirt was just purgatory. You're at home on Saturdays. You're going through weights. Like that ain't no fun. Now it is, I'll just take the red shirt and get paid another year by somebody else. Now we're getting do away with that. Can't wait to see how coaches rejoice over that one. Another one is a topic that I've been on for, well, ever now, but more so in the last couple of years than ever before, in the 2014 college football playoff. What do coaches believe about this? What do they think should happen? Because we're getting to a place now where more college football coaches are seeing the merits of a 2014 college football playoff, especially when they're coming to understand their job security might be tied to whether or not they got into a playoff. You double the field, you get more teams that can get in. Your Mark and the Big 12 have already said they agree with the Big 10. They agree with the ACC. They want a 2014 playoff. It's just about how they could get this thing done. They don't actually have to make a decision about 2014 playoff until December, but it would be interesting to see, if anything, how much easier it has become to get that to go online. We learned at Big 10 meetings that every single one of the 18 coaches in the Big 10 is for the 2014 playoff. Now, the unbalanced scheduling and what might follow from that, we're still working out, getting rid of conference championship games, for instance. But I think we're going to learn a lot more at media days about just what Power 4 coaches think about it for the 2014 playoff, and that might get us closer to it or further away. We'll see. Maybe I misread the situation, but I doubt it. The last one is, how much more are we going to see of the Big 12? And I mean that, like, honestly, because you're looking at the financials for the Big 12. They've already sold equity, right? They're in a commercial partnership with Redbird Capital that's going to provide them just $12.5 million that they can do with what they want. They got $2.3 billion in rights to Fox and ESPN to air the games through 2031. And then we might see some realignment there. But you've also got Paramount Global that just bought Warner, which means they get CBS and TNT at a time when NBC is also going to split itself up. Like, there's some big questions to be had here again. I think that's interesting. And what your Mark in particular might have to say about the future of his league, its football brand. And the last question I had is basically college football related. Is Oklahoma State the dark horse to win the conference championship in the Big 12? I think so. Given what we know about Eric Morris and North Texas last year and how he basically took the moving truck, put everybody in it and didn't, took them out to Stillwater and plans to just redeploy them with Oklahoma State jerseys on. Drew Mestamaker's a dude, right? We know that Caleb Hawkins is a dude. Wyatt Young is a dude. If they can score on people like they could score last year, they can win 10 games this year. They got a couple of really difficult matchups, but Oklahoma State's everybody's darling to be great in the Big 12 this year. And then there's some guys that I just can't wait to see. Like, Houston's going to be good. Connor Wigman is back. Amari Thomas is a playmaker. And Mekhi Hughes was outstanding the last time I got to run the ball at Tulane. He didn't at Oregon, transferred to Houston, where I expect he'll be great again. Devin Dampier might be the best player in the league, Morgan Scalley's first year. We'll see, right? And then Colin Klein is back at Kansas State with Avery Johnson in a year where he's got some things to prove to the rest of us. We'll see how this goes. I'm excited about it. Let me know what's your burning question for the Big 12 in the comments below, and I will catch y'all on the flip side. Deuces.